Hey there, and welcome to A Well-Rounded Life, the podcast, a space for creative entrepreneurs seeking an intentional life and biz filled with grace, passion, and purpose. I'm your host, Geomyra. I'm a mama, wife, dessert fanatic, and on the ultimate mission to get you closer to your idea of what it means to live a well-rounded life. Right here is where you'll find curated resources, quick tips, and relatable stories, no matter what season of life you're in. So hang out with me for a bit and let's dive in. You're listening to episode 82 of A Well-Rounded Life. I'm your hostess, Geomyra, and friend, can you believe that episode 82 marks the season finale of season 5? 5 seasons, 82 episodes. Wow, oh wow, I cannot believe it. We are inching our way close to 100 episodes, which I am so excited about. As we move into the thick of summer and gear up for a new school year, we will also be working behind the scenes to bring you the most incredible season yet with season 6. As I mentioned in last week's episode, you may head over to geomyra.com/podcast if you would love to apply to be a very special guest in the upcoming season. So as we plan for season 6, I wanted to put it out there that if you feel like you have a message to share, don't be shy, pitch yourself, share your story, and be a blessing to our listeners, aka our well-rounders. Before we get too far ahead though, let's settle in and get into today's show. As requested, favorite husband, my BFF, and now 5-time guest, Philip, is joining me as a co-host today. We have our drinks on deck, our cocktails, and we are so excited to do something that we have never done before, which is answering your burning questions. A few weeks ago, I asked you guys to send in questions that you wanted to ask us related to all things marriage, family, business, finances, travel, everything, all the things. And you did not disappoint. We did not get to answer all of the questions, so we did decide that we are going to do a live or do something else this summer as a bonus to wrap up this episode. We did not want to keep you too long. Phil was like, all right, now, how many questions did they send in? We had some amazing questions. So we will follow up if your question did not get answered live here on the show. We will do it at another time. So let's get into episode 82 with my husband, Philip. So today, it is our very first Ask Us Anything segment where okay.
Kiss your brain.
Are you done? Stop. Where we will be sharing our raw, authentic answers to your questions. He's got virtual learning still in his brain. We will be answering the most asked questions.
Tuesday is the second day of the week. 1, 2. Sorry, go ahead.
Are we done? Okay.
Up yourself. Ain't nobody responding for real. Tell the truth.
Such a jerk. So we are answering the questions that you guys asked. So crazy. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
All right, audience. Without further ado, please help me welcome my husband of 13 years this summer. It'll be 13 years.
Why don't you have like that Breakfast Club sound bar so when I come in, they'll be like, yay, like round of applause.
I don't want to do sound effects.
Bruh, you need something for me, guys. I want to get my own joint.
Okay. All right, Phil. So, we were on IG and I asked my followers to submit questions for us to answer on today's episode. Are you ready to give the people what they want, Phil?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I sifted through the questions and we had some duplicates, which means we definitely have to answer those questions.
Nice tonality there.
What?
The tonality, you like definitely have to. Sorry.
If this episode happens to get long-winded, because that's what it feels like, we may have to do a part 2, a live or bonus or something like that. Do you agree to that? Crazy?
Nah, because you're going to start paying me for my quote.
Okay. So you'll hear me sifting through the questions on my notes because you said you need a notepad. So here we go. Let's get into the first question. Here we go. What keeps the marriage going strong, if indeed it really is strong?
Oh, who said that?
JK, my sister. I'm going to put her out there. She said, but it's like, no, it's a real question. No, like, what makes our... Well, first of all, do you think it's strong? Our marriage, bruh.
I know.
Okay.
To me, yes.
Okay.
For what I think a marriage is.
Okay.
It's supposed to look like and be.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, sorry. I mean...
So the marriage is strong. Check.
Correct.
So what...
What about you?
Stronger than ever.
Oh.
You don't feel that way? You just clutched your pearls.
Cool.
You just clutched your pearls. You said, oh. You want to tell me something?
No. Stronger than ever.
All right. So what keeps the marriage going strong? You want to answer?
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Feel like communication, for sure. Being on the same team, knowing that we see marriage as being on a team. And so knowing to play your part, when to play your part, when to tap out, when to tag someone in. To me, that's what keeps a marriage or any relationship strong for that matter. Knowing where you need to step up for sure. And that is my answer to the question.
Yeah, I think you're right. Communication is definitely a key. We have over the years grown together. That's definitely a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if that was a blessing or
that was the Lord.
Yeah, obviously, but
because let me interject,
it's just tough.
Though.
It's difficult when you are starting young or any age, and then you now over a decade,
right?
Things will change.
A decade.
Over a decade.
You talking about married or together?
A marriage. You said marriage. This is a marriage question.
Facts. You're right.
Come on, man. You reading the questions?
You got it. You got
it. Notepad out.
You tried it.
Over a decade of marriage, and even longer for being together. I think growing as you start as a kid and mature into an adult in your relationship, your likes, your needs, all the things change. So that's just helpful. Being able to open-minded, growing with each other, communication, playing your part.
I agree. It's all about being a part of the team, knowing, like I said, the role you play on the team. And I think the biggest thing that you just said there is we've been together since we were, 16 and 17. And so no one knows the type of person you will be at that age. At 16, 17, I didn't know you were going to be an amazing dad. I didn't know that you were going to be a fantastic husband. I didn't know that. You need to take a sip. Go ahead. Have a sip of my drink. You feel better now? Y'all, he's about to choke over here. All right. What does it take for a relationship to keep its spark? And how do we keep it hot and spicy with busy schedules and kids?
Hot like fire. You want to answer this one first?
You got it. You tell me.
How do you keep it hot and spicy? PG night.
Okay. Which is what? Our date night. You're a little slow.
I was going to make something up.
No, don't.
But I wasn't. I always forgot this is.
No, this is.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
so yeah, PG night. I guess date nights essentially help.
Yeah.
One-on-one time, kind of getting away from the everyday hustle and bustle, family, kids, chores, work. Kind of dating over. So
dating your spouse.
Courting your spouse.
Yeah. The saying that we have is, it's easy to get the person, it's harder to keep them.
Indeed.
And my mom used to say, what you won't do, somebody else will. So,
child, tell me.
Okay. So with that being said, you keep it hot and spicy by not only doing the things that you did to get the person, but leveling it up to keep their attention. And anything that's a distraction, like you said, work, kids, or whatever, remove yourself from that environment to do something fun and youth-like and childlike that makes you guys just have fun.
Change it up. In short, keep it going, but also
next level it.
Yeah.
But yeah, our kids know that our date nights are important to us. Our family knows that. And so because of that, they help support us in keeping the foundation of this family solid by the one-on-one time. Next question. How do you handle financial responsibilities and decisions? And then there's an add-on. If the wife happens to make more, Phil, let's just say I happen to make more money than you.
You do. Duh.
Boy, bye. How do you handle financial responsibilities? Let's just say if one spouse makes more than the other, it may be a significant amount more than the other.
Do more?
Yeah, what is your thought on if someone makes more money, how it should be allocated?
For us, it doesn't matter because we've always had this joint account idea from the very beginning. And I guess it also helps when you start young, like we did, where we had jobs, not careers.
Making peanuts.
Compared to, now making peanuts. Then we thought we were just balling. But anyway, so we never started out with a big gap. But just seeing even my parents, I feel like they had this one household income thing. So it didn't matter if my dad made $200,000, my mom made $100,000. It didn't matter because it was all one pot. So the bills were taken care of. We went on trips. If he did a fellas trip or a family trip, it didn't matter who paid for what ticket.
I think to your point there, I think sometimes we're old school, traditional with how we handle money because at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, let's say I make more money than Phil.
You do.
Okay, stop. If I make more money than you, then I'm out here balling, buying Chanel purses, girls tripping it up, and you sitting there eating oatmeal and drinking water. Like, that's not fair.
But you gotta buy me some Chanel too.
That's my point. That's not fair for you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that sometimes I'll see relationships, and let's just be very clear, disclaimer. If it works for you, it works for you. But the question is about us.
Yeah, if it's a gap. So I think it could work, like, and I'm going to say roommate style. Yeah, roommate style when it's you take care of this, I take care of that. It gets tricky when it's a gap. Like, if you're still bringing in $60K and then your spouse is bringing in $500,000.
And they living their best life on a yacht.
Yeah, I'm first class and you coach. Like,
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
So, again, if it's a close and it works for you guys, then...
Yeah, but you can't be sleeping with the rich man and you over there and you can barely pay your bills.
If I want to go on a trip and my dream trip is Egypt and you can't go because you can't afford it, that's when it gets tricky. That's when it's like, come on, y'all. Like, figure that out.
Yeah.
So that's to figure it out. For me, I would do that. Household income. If I want to go somewhere and my wife can afford it, or vice versa, as long as they're picking up the slack somewhere else.
True.
And they're still part of the team, then I don't see the problem.
Something you just said. You said if my wife can't afford it. If I can't afford it, you can't afford it.
True that.
We together.
We together.
So at the end of the day,
but in this case,
I know. Yeah. So when the question is about how do you handle financial responsibilities and decisions, it's not about who makes more financially, because I think sometimes people don't understand, like you said, Phil, that some people pick up slack in other areas. If we're being fully transparent, the 90% of my job is not coaching for creatives or living well-rounded or speaking courses, whatever. It's holding down this family, like the heartbeat of this family. And so that accounts for something. And I think a lot of stay-at-home moms and people in that position, they don't get a physical paycheck. But God forbid you do have a husband making $500,000 and he looking at you like, oh, you don't have your half of the rent?
Right.
What the hell? Like, no.
I'm going to buy this house. You can go ahead and live here with the kids.
Yeah.
Like,
where's your rent money? What?
I'll buy that house and you pay me rent.
No. Like what is that? How do you handle being two different people with different opinions, but always being on the same team / having the same goals?
Run that back again.
How do you handle... We're two different people, right?
I'm a little tipsy, so you got to run that back.
Okay. Sorry. We're two different people with different opinions, but at the end of the day, we're on the same team and we want the same goals. So how do you basically make it happen when you're two different personalities, two different styles of things?
I think it's the first question. Answer to the first question, which is communication.
Mm-hmm.
Realizing and understanding that you are a team with a common goal. And as long as you can communicate, stay in your lane, so to speak. For example, we can have different opinions, but if we created this like task list and your job is to do this in the household and mine is to do that, it doesn't matter how it gets done because it's how I want to do it and it's done. You trust me to do my job, which is whatever it is, and we meet in the middle, and that's how we kind of accomplish our goal as one. You gotta trust your lineman to block for you if you're the quarterback. You gotta trust the quarterback, or the receiver gotta trust the quarterback to the ball, and so on and so on. So we're a full functioning team, and with our kids, same thing. We expect them to do certain things, and if they don't do it, it's a problem.
Facts. I think what I think works for us is we do talk about what the common goals are. We do, if you are around us, you know that we say we're like Team Pollard. Our children know. We'll say to them, "So you didn't do your chores today. So you didn't play your part on the team." That is how we keep this team moving and progressing and moving forward. And so I think the biggest thing is communicating and saying, all right, team, what is the goals? To win the championship, to buy a house? Like, what is it? And then how can we get there, and who needs to do what to make it happen? What plays do you need to run? What money do you need to bring in? What tasks do you need to complete? And all the things
and also
there.
Creating, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Also creating, like, for us, I know we didn't do it this year, but usually we create like some kind of goal, like a goal chart, family goal, individual goals, and that also helps.
Right. And let
to
me
stay on
let
the
me
same
jump you
page.
in there.
Sure.
And we like to actually do that on vacation. Again, going back to the limiting distractions, when we do have a drink in our hand, we don't have kids that we need to tend to, because we are date nighters, but we're also heavy vacationers. So we do get to set goals after we refresh and reset and do all of that. And so that is something we've been doing probably the last 10 years, is goal setting on vacation. Because it should be fun. It shouldn't be a burden. It should be excitement around it, right? Like,
it's a game.
Yeah, next level type of thing. Someone asked, what made Phil know you were the one?
So I guess this is for me.
Your name
I'm
is
kidding.
Phil.
What? How did I know you're the one? Okay. I knew you're the one. I don't want to tell that corny story about the chili. So,
okay.
So a couple things. Started as friends. Overnight, almost, it felt like we just, like, I missed you when I didn't see you.
Oh, really? Oh, it's good to know.
But you was always sweating me, so
okay,
whatever.
We're moving on now.
Whatever.
Next.
But it was that, like, again, you were easy to be around. It was fun to be around you. We had a lot in common.
Some people would say otherwise.
So we were fun. We I guess created this friendship amongst us, and just ended up evolving in something more. But we enjoyed each other's attention, and that helped.
Right.
Then you are very kind, and
thank you.
Just always having my back. I think just having you in my corner, having my back. When I got the blessing from my grandparents, my mom,
Hey, Mom.
I'm laughing because my mom,
Shout
Jamar
out.
and I got in an argument like on a weekend.
We were in college. And we just wanted to, like, we broke. This is like the one time we broke up.
Technically, we broke up.
We broke up for like a 2 days.
Like 48 hours.
Yeah, 48 hours.
But
and he was
within
dead
that
ass.
48 hours,
You were like, I'm good. I'm done.
Right. Within that 48 hours, like, my mom was like, what you doing home? Like, you always gone. And I kind of told her what happened, but not really. And then she kind of, like, I always do these silly bets. Like, all my friends know, like, I'll just do a random, like, I bet you can't do 100 push-ups in this many hours or this many minutes. And I challenged my mom she has this 3-level townhouse, and she ran from the bottom to the top in a certain amount of time. And the bet was, if she did it, I will have to call Geomyra, go see her. And she did it. She ran for my girl.
She did. So, that's why she's my favorite.
But yeah, just having the blessings from my parents / grandparents. Wanted to be around you. When I wasn't around you, I missed you. Having my back. And then your family, again, helped.
Yeah.
So having good,
our families are very intertwined, and we love it.
You kind of know, like, for me, if your spouse doesn't have a solid foundation, it's like, ooh.
And I feel, honestly, when I hear horror stories of people who don't like their in-laws or spouse, and family members, I'm like, how? Because we do a lot of stuff together, and it feels close to his parents, so that would be a little weird. Next question. Would you guys consider your relationship rhythmic at this point, being that you have been together for so long?
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I think we have one of those Be More house beats.
What? Okay, our friends will get this, but don't do that. No, don't do it. Yes. Where I black, he picks up. It's one of those things, like, I cook, he cleans. I run the bath, he gets some dress. I make the lunch, he puts it in the backpack. It's literally, it's in sync.
It's
everything
like
we
clockwork. It's on the same page.
It's kind of weird.
We kind of know each other's thoughts and answer questions before,
We feel the same.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about last weekend.
What happened?
We both had the same thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that's where that whole soulmate thing, which I don't know how I feel about it, but there are moments where I'm like, oh gosh, that's odd. How do you manage all of the business stuff, the kids, our schedules, work stresses, and making time for each other? And it also, another question was, how do you keep a good balance between family time and work? So how do we basically balance it all is the question.
Oh, man, you answer that one. Because you're the well-rounded life coach.
Well, the next question is, do you and Phil see balance as the same thing? Hell no.
No, we do.
What? How?
Because when we first started this whole well-rounded conversation, I didn't realize we were actually saying the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you
my
agree?
thought wasn't, yeah.
Okay,
So
so
you're go ahead.
I'll answer that. How do we manage all the things? I think communication, that should be the damn title of the show, is communication. And you need to know, we talk about our schedules, like, oh, I got a busy week, I got a busy day, or I have this call. And we really had to get in sync with everyone being home through COVID and virtual learning and everyone being here. Like, this is what's going on, and here's how you can help me and support me, and this is what I need from you. So we have those conversations.
Yeah, and sorry, it's just also with that communication comes into teamwork, sacrifice, because you got to realize also
Sacrifice is good.
Yeah, because you think, oh, my meeting's more important, or this is a big client, when you can't say that your client's bigger than your spouse's or whoever.
And I like how you made a good point, because again, I'm speaking for all the stay-at-home moms, the stay-at-home working from home moms, and all the people, like, just because a spouse works outside of the home or maybe someone makes more money, it's still important to me. So at the end of the day, what I will say is you grant me the respect and the grace, even though, you talking to a client and me talking to a client is completely two different paydays. So it's one of those things where you're like, you still will give me that respect, and I appreciate it. But how do we balance it all, manage it all? Because y'all know I don't believe in balance. Is we have our date nights together. We have our one-on-one time with our kids individually. Yeah. Like, you have a standing date with the kids on Tuesdays. I'm with them 24/7. It feels like, running errands, and on the weekends, because you work weekends. Our schedules, COVID did bless us with the opportunity that you were able to do a lot more of the soccer dad-ish type of things and going to games, which was such a blessing, and helping me with that. And then work stress, we know how to decompress. Like, we're doing this because this is technically my job and work. But after this, we're going to go watch some Netflix, hang out, pour us another drink, and just hang out and enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, I think you got to, for us, we're both in sales technically. So right. I think being disciplined and having those hard cutoffs.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, this is TV time. This is my snack party with my kids time. Mm-hmm. This is me playing with Jackson. There are moments, you got to judge every moment, and
you're protective of your time with the people.
You are, and I say that loosely because everyone knows I will still look at the phone or text or whatever. If it's if it's one of those quick things, but I'm not going to go back to work after I clocked out or.
No, you don't go back to your computer. You don't. You'll just respond quickly if it's like.
Or I'll say I'll call you back in the morning. Or
what's the dimensions of the house, and you'll respond quickly. I respect that.
But I think having the discipline to hard shut off, and again making sure you're committed to the.
Let me just jump in here so we can move on though. You have to prioritize what is important to you, and will it matter a year from now, 6 months from now? And I say that meaning, if you say your family is important to you, or your marriage is important to you, or something you want to repair or fix or whatever, then make time for it. If you know you want a bomb relationship with your kids where they can say, oh, my mom was the soccer mom or the homeroom mom, what are you going to do to make that happen? Do you need to cut some things off at work? Do you need to step in another area? So how we manage it is we know what our priorities are, and that we know our kids are only getting older and we will never get that time back. So we prioritize those things.
Hold on, but one more thing. Sorry. Also, when I say hard cutoff, you don't gotta for me every day is different. So there are times where I'm legit working for 8 to 8, but or I can't. There's no days off, right? But say what you say you're gonna do. So communicate that with your family. Hey, I'm gonna be busy the next couple of days. We got this new opening, new model, whatever, new section released, whatever it may be. But then make sure you spoil your family after you're done. Make sure you give them the instant gratification so they know, like, oh, damn, okay.
Where we going?
You got those 5 days, whatever. I see. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go to Turkey and Cake.
Where you taking me? No, I talk about that a lot on this podcast, and everybody knows that I'm about to speak at a conference in a couple weeks, so I'm going to be getting my presentation together. But we have a family vacation planned soon, so I'm going to be present in the moment, loving on them. But then they know, leave me alone when we come back because mommy's got some things to do. So we're on the same page. How do you work through disappointments, frustrations, and rough patches? How do you work through like hard seasons, basically? Because we've been through some hard stuff personally, individually. Like, knock on wood, I don't feel like we've had like a rough patch in relationship-wise, but you've been around for like loss of my parents, loss of relationship, with people. And so how do we handle those things?
I can talk for myself. If it's something that, if this incident that is out of my control, don't always try to fix it. Just be there, being present and listening, or just in someone's space, I've found helps. Being understanding. I don't know.
Think we work through things by being there for each other. You have wiped so many tears of mine, and I've supported you with trying seasons and frustrations with work and family and health and all the things. We've definitely have dealt with a lot of things that people don't see. But I'm telling you, man, there's nothing like having a partner, a shoulder to cry on, someone that will make you laugh. If your partner isn't your best friend, and I know some people may disagree, then you're missing out. That's just how I feel on it. So we work through it by knowing that you have a built-in best friend to go through these things with. Because I know everyone out there, you will call your girl, you will call your boy if things are rough. But when you actually get to have a live-in, built-in person, that's a blessing. So I do try to nurture our friendship just as much as our partnership in marriage and raising these children as well. Do you think?
I agree.
Okay, I was like, what do you think about that? What does support look like from both perspectives?
You go first.
Okay. Support looks like, I think I spoke about it a little earlier. What I charge a client versus how much a client is bringing to you may not be the same dollar amount, but you will still support when I say, hey, I'm having a call or an intensive with a client, or hey, I'm doing this and that. You support me. You uplift me. You let me do me. And you've been letting me figure out this business thing for the last however many years. I've been an entrepreneur for a lot of years. And support looks like coming in my office. What are you working on? Let me see what you're doing. That's support to me. Like that is support, and encouraging me when I want to quit. All the time, you're like, no, you have a gift, you have something, people need what you have. And I'm like, F that. I want to throw in the towel some days. But support is like, you are on the right path. Don't give up. You're almost at the finish line. So support looks like, for me, when I know that you have my back, even if the results aren't there yet. But it reminds me of that Tyler Perry movie. We were just talking about it with Taraji, where she was supporting him for a long time. Yeah. And then I don't want to tell them this movie, but Tyler Perry, Taraji movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. You just never know when your partner is on the brink of something great. But support also is me knowing when you have been at your desk for 12 hours working, to bring you your lunch, to bring you some water, send you a little quick note like, love you, thinking about you, can't wait till you're done. That's support. Like, I appreciate what you do and bring to this family. And I think no one will ever get tired of someone saying, I appreciate you. At least that's my thought.
I agree. These are challenging for me because it's like, I don't know, not to sound whatever. It's just what you do, right? Like, it's
not everybody does it though.
The way you want to be treated.
That's everybody don't do that.
You're
so
kind.
People don't talk.
That's fine. I'm just telling you. For me, it's challenging. You're kind. You treat people how you want to be treated. I mean, I know your love language, as you said. Mm-hmm. So I just, again,
yeah, you're
just supportive because you're my best friend. I see what you're trying to do.
Am I really
we have a
your
common
best friend?
goal. I'm trying to be serious right now, bro. All right. Hey.
Okay. Continue.
Anyway. Yes, support looks like that.
I love it. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When did you guys decide you wanted to be together for the rest of your lives?
Today.
That question's for your mom.
Oh. What's up, Mom Dukes? When you ran up them dang on stairs?
Yes, Ma. My grandmother always jokes that she says I planned my life from the day I came out the womb. And unfortunately, there's some truth to it, as in the sense of I have always had plans of things I want. I'm a big goal setter, an action taker and planner and all the things. But I feel like once I realized I was literally loving being in your presence and having fun and everything felt kind of easy, our relationship always felt easy to me. I knew that I never wanted that feeling to go away. Like, I always felt a comfort in... You're so inappropriate right now. This is all I'm going to say. I always knew that I just loved your company. I loved your family. I loved your energy.
So that's saying never leave. Duh.
I never left because I liked being around you.
Like that damn pantry too.
And his mom and dad always had the best snacks, y'all. They really did. My house was the house that was always busy and jumping because my mom just loved children and the community. And I grew up in a house with 3 other siblings. And so for us, it was always jumping. And so your house was always quiet and solitude. And that's me. I'm a homebody. I like that. So I was like, this is where it's at. And I got to know you on a deeper level because it was just us and it wasn't a lot of background noise. That's my answer. I knew I wanted to be.
What was the question again?
When did you guys decide you wanted to be together?
Yeah. Today.
Your mom, you're such a jerk in real life. All right, before we go any further, if you are tuned in, I want you to screenshot and tag me over on Instagram. I'm at Coach for Creatives, so I can give you a shout out and say thank you for listening in to our craziness thus far.
Shameless plugs all day.
Oh my gosh. Okay, moving on. We're going to talk about parenting because that was marriage and relationships. Hope you guys.
There's like different categories?
It is today.
Bruh.
You better get into it. This is the number one asked question. Do you know what it is?
Where's
Don't be looking at my notes. You know the question?
Any plans to have more kids?
Yep.
Boom.
Do you guys want more kids? Any plans to have more kids? Is your family complete? I can go on.
Why is that number one question?
I don't know. What people want to know, do we want more kids? That's a question that came up probably like 4 to 5 times. You want to answer it first? Authentically? And then I'll answer it?
I'll say no.
Am I boring you?
No, I'm just...
It's okay. Continue.
Sorry. No. The answer is no.
You don't want any more kids?
I'm good. I'm satisfied.
Praise the Lord. Let me take a drink on that. Cheers.
May I have one too?
Sure.
No, I would say no.
So inappropriate. Go ahead.
I would say no. I would say no because I think we're complete. This goes back to our conversations and communication. Mm-hmm. We've always had the thought. What I remember is you wanted 1, I wanted 3. We agreed on 2. Mm-hmm. So that's always been a plan. And as we had our kids early in our eyes, we have these now new goals. And I kind of see it like, all right, once these kids are done with this level of grade or schooling, we're trying to prepare and plan to, the next start chapter. So traveling and
because our kids are 6 and 11, first grade, going into 1st and 6th grade, and our kids are 5 years apart, and that wasn't by choice, but it's 5 years apart, and I can't imagine personally starting over. And we have like the question about us being rhythmic. We have a rhythm, we have a system, it works. If I'm being very
change up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I would say oops baby is not in my plans, but if that's what God has for us, then maybe.
If it happens, it happens, but that's not the plan.
Not the plan
at all.
So if you hear this and you see me with a baby, it was not the plan. Someone asked, how do you negotiate when it comes to a parenting point? Let's say you feel a certain type of way about something and I feel a different way. How do we negotiate?
Paper, rock, scissors.
Okay, no.
Parenting style. So
how do we negotiate when it comes to our parenting points?
I hate to sound
what?
Like a
communication.
Communication.
Well,
seriously.
You know why though? And let me just say this for you. Before we had kids, we made a rule. Remember the rule?
We're always on the same team.
We are on the same team before these other people joined the team. We are the captains. So we got these rookies joining our team, and these rookies ain't running anything. So we don't put each other against each other. If let's say
that wasn't the question.
No.
The question was we're both different of opinion about a particular parenting decision. My answer to that is.
But I wasn't done though. But you got it.
No, but you're saying about the kids against us. This is more us against us. Me versus me, as my boy Moneybag Yo say. Okay. Me versus me.
All right, you got it.
Okay. I would say
this is me falling back and letting you lead. You got it.
So per the question. Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Pollard.
I think it comes down to understanding each other. For me, I understand that we've been raised similar but still different, where you maybe feel strongly about a certain thing you grew up with or had to endure as a kid, just like me. So I'm very like, okay, I remember when I was a kid, we did this and I didn't like this, or I like this, so I want to implement that in my children. So understanding where they're coming from. So that's my thing is, if there's a disagreement about parenting,
pick your battles,
but also understand where they're coming from. Because some people got whooped, some people didn't. Some people had to do extra work after school. Some people didn't. Chores.
Some people was
make
lazy.
your bed. Yeah, like, so you got to understand where that person's coming from, and then understand why they want that. So,
and even to your point there, what works best for the new team, because
right.
you might have been raised one way and I might have been raised another way, but that may not be the way we want to raise our children in this new world with new issues and new technology and new whatever. So we had together have to decide what makes sense for this generation with what is going on. And that's when we have conversations and we're like, you know what, that's maybe old school, or you know what, that old school actually works because that's what made us who we are. And so we actually talked to Peyton about that a lot. Our daughter's a preteen, and we're like, we're not telling you this just to be mean. We're telling you this because it works. Look at us. It works.
True.
We're God-fearing people that just try to do right and keep it moving. So just roll with that. How do we balance the age difference between the kids when we are planning activities? Because again, they're 6 and 11. They're 5 years apart. First grade and going into middle school. You're the fun parent. You can answer that.
Ooh, you gotta have two, like now. Yeah. At one point, it was easier. 2 different genders definitely is a big. That's it's harder as well, pause. So,
hey Tyrone.
For me, like why would you say that?
Because that's our inside joke.
Bro? But come on, you can't be like whatever.
Continue.
Yo, you crazy. Good. I think that you have
to. Sorry, you got it. Oh, we love our friends. All right. Age difference between the kids. How do we plan activities? Bring it together.
I think that you have, for me, since I'm the fun parent, as Jamar says.
I'm the militant parent.
It's almost like you got to take turns. So for now, like snack party, her guest knows what snack party is, right? Okay.
Tuesday.
So snack party, today's Tuesday. Okay. Snack party is
your dates.
Portion of Peyton and now a portion of Jackson. Where before, even though it was an age gap, they were still young enough to enjoy certain movies. Peyton being a preteen, she ain't feeling what Jackson trying to watch right now. And 2 genders right now, Jackson ain't really feeling what she trying to watch. So it's almost like I had to find a balance, or be the or this is what I want to watch. Y'all watch what I want to watch, or this is what I want to do, and they have fun
because they want to be with you.
Yeah, I'm the balance, I guess.
The nucleus.
I'm the activity. So we're playing soccer. I'm making up games as we riding our bikes or whatever. There's no right answer to this. It's just figuring out, like, I guess, kind of
taking
judging
turns,
the room.
Because you'll do that.
Yeah.
So now with snack party, what Phil will do is he'll say, all right, we all are going to watch what Jackson wants to watch first for 30 minutes. Then the next 30 minutes is everything that Peyton wants to do. And you better give her the same attention that she gave you, because you actually might like it if you do it.
They always enjoy each other's selection and games, movies, cards, board games, whatever it is. But it's not their choice. So they're like, they get all upset about it. But they always enjoy it.
But it's also tricky, though, because as someone planning like a family trip, I'm looking at like, all right, if we're going to Disney World, we're not, but let's say we were going to Disney World. All right, how many of the rides can Jackson ride with his height and Peyton can ride now, so that we can divide and plan our day? It actually is now a thing that I have to pay attention to, because there's a height difference. So he's going to be standing around waiting for her to play games, to ride or do whatever. And so it just means you plan. You have to plan it out. We can't just say, oh, we're all going to go to this movie to watch it. Peyton don't want to watch certain Disney movies at this point. And Jackson is above his pay grade. Like, it's above his head. He's not going to be able to, what y'all watching, Big Shots or whatever on you and Peyton?
Big Shots. He ain't really feeling that.
Yeah, he's not feeling Big Shots. But Peyton's already been there, done that with the stuff that Jackson wants to watch sometimes. So, but she has to give him some grace, because she knows that the goal is just spending time together.
Jackson's the worst picking shows. He'll watch, I'm not sure if your kids do this, he'll watch YouTube and watch someone else playing a game. Bro, we ain't doing that. Am I watching an hour of someone playing Roblox? Nah, cuz we ain't doing that.
Yeah, I don't get it. But next question. Best life advice for parents?
You're the life coach.
Here's my advice. Number 1, you're in charge. Number 2, I always feel it's super important. People have children, and I sometimes feel like people lose themselves. They have kids, and everything revolves around the kids. No. I feel where I take pride in who I am and who we are, like our relationship, is that we still date each other. I still kick it with my girls. We still go on fellas trips and girls trips. You tried it. And so we still do those things. When people have children, I've seen and I sit back and I observe, they stop living. Yes, the kid is a priority. Yes, you want to make sure that you're feeding them and they're surviving and thriving and all the things. But the question is, are you thriving or just surviving because you're giving them everything that you have and you're not taking any time for yourself? And so my advice to parents is, in the process of you raising these amazing human beings that you're raising, how are you still moving forward and thriving and working towards being the best version of yourself, or walking in your purpose, or being who God, if that's who you believe in, created you to be? So don't just stop growing and elevating just because you have these children. They still deserve the best version of you in the process as well. And so my advice is, if you love to travel, keep traveling. They may want to, your kids will enjoy the break from you just as much as you will enjoy the break from them. We travel a lot, and thank God for, Phil's parents and my cousin and people who hold down our family, but they don't even want to come back to us half the damn time. So it's like they have the best time with the people as well. So my advice from my rant is, keep growing individually so that you can be the best version and example for your children, and don't feel like your life has to halt or stop just because you have children. If anything, they should help you be a better human and a better person. Phil?
That's well said. I mean,
okay, stop.
No, seriously. Why do you?
We're done.
That's right on key. I mean, don't lose yourself.
Don't lose yourself.
Stay. What'd you say? Stay the course. Stay focused.
Elevate. I don't even want to stay. Like, you gotta level up, honey.
Yeah, don't lose yourself, I think, is the key.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate seeing
that's
people like,
good.
oh, everything is mom. You wear multiple hats as a parent. You're still Phil, or whatever nicknames you have with your friends. You're still my husband. You're still Peyton and Jackson's dad. You're still Angela and Henry's son. Like, you have multiple labels and levels, but people neglect those different labels when they have children sometimes, and that's not fair to your family, to your friends, to yourself. And that's what I really hope people do take away from that, is advice. Show your kids what it is like to actually live a well-rounded life that is fulfilled and not revolving around a toddler.
No, that's good.
For sure.
I have nothing to add to that.
I don't either, so let's move on. We'll move into the traveling category here.
Bruh, how many categories?
15. I'm kidding.
What's that quick?
I'm kidding. We're almost done. Travel, though. Best way to plan/save for your dream vacation, but still enjoy life in the meantime. So let me tell you what has worked for us, if you don't mind me sharing this. One thing that we've done the last...
Do not. Just kidding.
You're a fool. One thing that we've done the last couple of years is, we are Amex people. And so if you're familiar with Amex, you should be paying your credit card off once a month. You pay the full balance. But there are a lot of perks that come with such cards. And with that, I'm going to use Amex. There's Capital One. There's a lot of people who have programs. But with American Express, because we pay a lot of our bills and a lot of things with this card, that grants us points. So we're going on a family trip. Family trip means that it was paid through points. And so how we plan and save is that we still are living life. We're still paying our bills. We're still doing things, but we actually have a card or something that has an incentive tied to it that allows us to still vacay, but and still live life. But the paying the bills and swiping at the grocery store, swiping at the gas station is actually gaining us points that we can use towards a vacation. That's my idea of how you can do it.
You can. That's definitely yes.
Because we've taken 2 vacations this year off of that alone.
That's definitely this year.
We took the kids for spring break.
That was this year?
Baby, that was in April.
Okay.
And then now we're taking them on.
We've been a lot of places, bro. Sheesh.
Thank you, God. You got to say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Lord. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, so yes, that's definitely a hack to the game for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's our hack.
It's a hack to the game.
That's how y'all see us traveling.
You're sneaking a trip or two for sure.
Off of points.
Off of points.
Phil spends no money, guys. But where he will spend money is traveling and on the people in his inner circle. He won't buy anything.
Experiences.
He spends money on experiences. I will be like, babe, you've had that shirt for a minute, for a couple years. You want to get a new shirt? No, it still fits. I'm going to get this shirt. No, he does not spend money, but he will splurge when it comes to travel. But the question, and I know who it came from, they're asking for an everyday person.
No, that's a hack. That's a great hack. I think that's solid. However, I don't think you can't work around the fact that you have to hustle your butt off.
Facts.
And sacrifice the penalty stuff, like meaning if you want to go to this dream vacation that you say is a dream vacation, then hey, you want to go grab a drink? Nah, I got drinks in the house. Come to my crib. We can do it that way.
That's a great idea.
You want to go out to eat? Nah, I'm packing my lunch this week because I got to sacrifice to go save my money or make my coffee at home so I can do this. Yeah, so you can cut back on certain things that are wasting your money that can go towards this luxury vacation trip. In addition to, of course, the points. That's definitely a hack, but hustle and bustling, working your butt off, sacrificing, and when it's time to have your time off, vacation, have fun, ball out, splurge.
So that's a great point, and I'm glad you added that. Yes, you could possibly book said trip off of points and every day, but when you actually get there, you still got to spend some money. So to Phil's point, where can you say, no, friends, I can't meet you for happy hour. I cannot go out to eat for the third time this week because I'm going to take that money and now that's my money for a half-day yacht cruise or whatever. So
you still can enjoy life and not buy a table at the club.
No, bring your people to your crib and put on some music and have fun.
The quick road trip to a 2-hour drive here and there that you wasted money on or paying, whatever. You can still figure it out and budget accordingly for this trip.
No, I like that idea.
Or a side hustle. Shoot, get a side hustle.
Facts. Because we're always talking about multiple streams of income.
Hustle and that could pay for this trip.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Next question. You two travel so much, it's inspiring. Any recommendations for traveling with babies and kids?
Don't. Don't do it.
Stop. No. Let me jump in.
That's my advice.
You a lie. You're traveling with them next week.
Oh, yeah.
And you traveled with them a month ago.
I travel with them when it's their trip.
But that's what you're missing, baby.
It's like their trip, question so we gotta take them.
No, baby, you're missing it. So let me tell y'all our rule. We do travel a lot because Phil, like I said, he'll spend money on experiences. We love the idea of our kids having passports and getting stamps in them. We will spend money so that they can see the world. Amazing. Great. My mom was a traveler. Our family's traveler. That's what we do. So what happens for us is we are very intentional with our travel. So it may not look like it, but we do. We have our one-on-one trip. We have friends trips. And we have trips with the four of us, Phil, Geomyra, Peyton, Jackson. And then we'll have a big family trip usually at the end of the year with Phil's parents, my siblings, and all the things. So each trip has a purpose. So for us, our recommendation is, for sure, if you are doing a trip with your kids, you do it and you make it around them. And my rule is, when it's the kids involved, it's a trip.
Yeah, it's their trip.
When it's
have a
us,
Geomyra, like legit.
have a Geomyra.
Dude,
what does that mean?
So when we go on a kids trip, y'all, I mean, everything's laid out to the T, where snacks, clothes, like have labels of the days they gotta wear them. When they gotta take them off, it's labeled the time.
You tried it.
No, everything's labeled. So
you a fool.
She just has this system where she just knocks everything out, and it's simple.
To
it's
make
easy.
The best use of our time while we are on the trip, though.
Yeah, and it's, again, make it about them. Again, that's just us. When we travel with our kids,
it's a trip.
I'm going here to make sure they have a great time. I'm not worried about myself at this point. Mm-hmm. It's what they want to do. So I'm not sure if that was the question.
Yeah,
asked.
so no, you answered it. So what we do
is it's harder to travel with, in my opinion, if it's a trip for myself.
It's not a trip for yourself.
My 5-year-old or 6-year-old son and daughter, and you're not gonna have fun.
So there's my rule is, unless there's two definitions.
That comes or
this is my rule.
Someone.
A trip is something that we take with the kids. Peyton and Jackson have a vacation, but for Geomyra and Phil, it's a trip. When Geomyra and Phil go on an adventure, that's a vacation. If I ain't gotta chop your food, wipe your butt, do whatever, that's a vacation because I'm taking a break from that. A trip means I am taking them out of their environment and taking them on an adventure. So every activity that we plan is child friendly.
Let's be real. We take them somewhere because we go a lot of places, so we feel bad.
No, you feel bad.
I do.
I don't. No, you got to earn this, honey. Listen, when I was growing up, we didn't do half of the things that our kids have already done.
But kids don't go outside anymore.
That's true.
Like, we legit hung outside all summer, and I was happy.
You're right. It's different. Yeah. It's a different time. But to answer the question, how do we recommendations is you plan every activity around things that are serving the audience, which would be the kids. And then you also make sure you plan something for yourself that includes wine, shots, yacht trips separately.
Oh, separately. Yeah.
Boy, not with the kids. We got a parenting or you want? No. You're going to plan kid-friendly activities for them.
Drink responsibly.
And then you do something that is adult-friendly where you can, and this is just so random and odd, even the clothes I wear. I will wear a different bathing suit on a family trip versus a bathing suit on a friend's trip or a couple's trip. Everything is around the children when we go on a trip with the kids. And then when it's us and I'm feeling youthful and feeling fun and free-spirited and whatever, that's a whole different vibe. But I will appreciate that more when I'm not having to worry about, dealing with the kids. So my recommendation is know your audience, plan for that audience, and don't be disappointed when you're like, oh, I didn't get to relax. No, because you did the same thing just in a different environment. You still had to feed them, still had to change diapers, you still had to do the things. What's the difference? Right. Besides the sunshine and the pool. That's my thought on it. So plan your own trip if you haven't. And if you haven't planned a couple's trip, you're missing out. Make that a priority in the next couple months. Your thoughts on traveling during COVID?
I was nervous. Wait, it's COVID now still, right?
Still a pandemic,
okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not as bad as I was.
Phil was like, hail to the no. We ain't going nowhere.
So I didn't go anywhere. We took a road trip to the beach.
We went to Outer Banks with the kids for 4th.
Which was okay because it was kind of blocked off and
right.
Still excluded.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, we didn't go anywhere. And then Turks, we went because...
Rewind. You didn't go anywhere.
Where did you go?
I went to Turks 3 times during the pandemic.
Well, twice with me. That was like the latter part of this.
And then I went once for work.
Yeah. So anyway, it's not... For me, it was being strategic. It was a nonstop flight. It was a 3-hour flight. People on the plane had to get a test.
Mm-hmm.
The island was small. Most of them been vaccinated. Like it was just different strategies. I'm not about to go to Vegas and
turn up
at rehab and do all the things.
Not rehab.
Yeah, that's just me.
I think at this point, to each his own. I think with us, our thoughts on traveling, like when I was in Turks and Caicos in October, people thought I was crazy and had lost my damn mind for being in Turks and Caicos in October. But my thought at that time, knowing that I had to get tested when I got there, had to be tested to come back on all the things, was that honestly, I'm going to Target a couple times a week and I'm going here a couple times a week. I'm exposing myself in the same manner. So
probably worse.
That part. So our thoughts on traveling during COVID is you still need to act like this disease is killing people.
Be safe.
And move accordingly.
Move smart. And
wash your hands, sanitize, keep your distance, and know who you are around and control your space as much as you can. But don't be out here just balling out like you at, what is that weekend in Florida that people used to have all the time?
Bike week.
Yeah, that back in the day. How do you decide where you travel, and do you and Phil have different preferences? So how do we decide where we go?
Cause it's been an hour. I need my what's those things you get when you have like M&Ms and drinks and all that? What do you call that?
What do you call it? Green, like your
gopher?
No, your rider.
I need a rider, legit.
Do we have?
Can we like do this other part like? Online.
You want to do a live?
Let's do a live, bro.
You want to do a live?
Yes.
We can do a live.
Okay.
You want to move on?
Yes.
There's some really good ones. You want to make those on the live?
I don't think people are listening anymore. It's over an hour. The car ride's over, bro. Like, they're at work right now. They're done. They're not listening.
All right, so let's do this. Let's make it a live. Let's make the last...
It's like that midnight radio station. We're just in a... Hey, this is Philly.
Okay,
Philly.
Philly.
Quiet storm. All the ladies out there.
All right, so this has been great. thank you, hubby, for your continued support, your love, attention, time, and the positive energy you bring to our closet right now. It's a fool. Honestly, though, you're the biggest blessing in my life, and I thank God for you each day. And each year is filled with even more abundance, and for that I am so grateful. And thank you for being my most asked, requested guest to date. You guys, if you are new and just tuning in, Phil has been on the podcast every season as my closer. So make sure you go check him out on the other episodes. I really do hope and pray that not only this episode, but another episode that you may have listened to has served you in some way. And I feel like this is our best season yet, but we are gearing up for season 6.
And we got some good things ahead of season 6, y'all. We got some new equipment. We got some new background music. We got some new commercials coming. We got some new stuff, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be energetic.
Are we done?
Listen, it's gonna be something y'all want to see. That's for you, James.
That's our friends' inside joke.
That is.
Turks and cakes. All right. All jokes aside, though, you guys, I promise you, season 6 is going to be the best season yet. So stay tuned. Head over to Geomyra.com and sign up for our newsletter so that you can be the first to know about our upcoming launch, our rebrand, the incredible, amazing things that I have coming your way. If you're not a part of our Facebook community, just search Living Well-Rounded over on Facebook. And the links are also in the show notes for everything that I mentioned. This literally just
push the like button, the thumbs up.
That's YouTube.
Subscribe
That's Peyton.
New.
That's your daughter. Our daughter has a YouTube channel called Peyton's Paradise, and so we're always joking with her about hitting the like and subscribe. This interview ended so abruptly, with intention though, that we will answer the rest of the questions. I promise you, in some capacity. So stay tuned for that, because we're gonna cover communication and some general questions that people asked us that we did not answer, but. Just making sure you're following us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, because
follow my Instagram, Phil.
You guys, he's not even on social media, so we will move on from that. But that is it. Season 5 is a wrap. It is all done. We will be back in a few weeks after our summer break.
What's next for you in this podcast and coaching for creatives, and what do you got working?
What's coming soon, you will learn about if you are on the newsletter and if you are in the Facebook community. But because I have an incredible husband in support, you already know what's up. Because we've been working this together. We communicate.
I know.
We communicate, Phil. So I don't even want to tell them what the hotness and the heat is, because they need to be the heat. It's about to be hot. Hot girl summer. That's what I'm working on.
I hope not. Flew out.
Flew out. All right. In the meantime, you guys, like I said, Instagram is where you can find me hanging out. Y'all know how we roll. So I love you very, very much. Thank you for 5 incredible seasons. I am excited for the new season. And I just wanted you to know that I'm so grateful for you, Well-Rounders. And I am grateful for you. As I said, Phil, thank you for coming, hanging out with me in the closet. Friends, stay safe, stay positive, and focus on what?
Stay positive?
Positive attitude, positive energy.
Yeah, make sure you say that nowadays.
Okay, let's do this. This is my ending, always. Okay.
Hey, Well-Rounders, stay focused, stay dedicated, and live your life to the roundest.
No. Can I finish this?
Sure, do you think? Mine was better.
It sucks. Stay safe, stay positive.
Focus. Don't say positive.
That's next.
Okay, go ahead.
Stay safe, stay positive, and focus on what matters most, Well-Rounder.
How about stay safe, keep a positive attitude.
It's too much.
You're right.
It's too much.
That came out wrong.
Stay safe, stay positive, and focus on what matters most. We love you, Well-Rounder. Bye. You want to hit bye? No?
Deuces. See y'all when I see ya.
Friends, thanks for kicking it with us this week. Remember to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode airs. I'd love it if you leave us a review and share this goodness with your squad. Until next time, seek a well-rounded life and remember to focus on what matters most.